have your fear, which might become reality. And you have Godzilla, which is reality.
I'm sick of Godzilla. Wake up, everyone! There are two things you don't know about the Earth. One is me, and the other is Godzilla.
We're safe enough. No human being can understand that. The monsters on Monster Island can understand it.
Whether he returns or not, or is never again seen by human eyes, the things he has taught us remain.
Jay, I like your point every time. Welcome back to YHS on Monster Island. We're here again this week. Lots of, you know what, it's a little light, but we got a lot of news to talk about. It's going to be a fun episode. But I don't know, whenever we're doing like regular YHS or Toy Anxiety, Craig, the other hosts of the other shows, introduces everybody every single time. Is that something that every podcast, should I be, every single episode, should I be saying, I'm Jacob Walsh, and here's Jay Key?
Nah, if you want to.
People know, right?
People know. Our names are right here in the little rectangles, too.
Anyway, I'm Jacob Walsh.
Hey, Jacob.
And this is Jay Key.
Nice to meet you.
Jay Key.
Oh, thank you.
Jay, how's it going, dude?
I am stressed out.
Uh-oh.
I'm very stressed out because you can't see it, but if I turn my computer around, or my camera around, the monster room, the toy room, where I spend most of the time every day, is a freaking disaster zone.
Uh-oh. Because
of two things, my friend. One is because of me, and one is it was not because of me, and it is extra stressful. And I think if I tell you, I think you're going to get like sweaty palms and stuff because it's pretty crazy. Okay, the first one's my fault, or my doing, not my fault, is I made the call, and I told you this, that I'm selling all of my NECA Ninja Turtles, the entire animated line. So I've been packaging up, making sure all the accessories, there's a million accessories in all those bags or those boxes. And I think I have about 58 listings that have went up.
So you're not trying to sell it all as one lot.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it separately. Yeah,
Ooh.
yeah. But so in the middle of the room, there's just a giant stack of NECA Ninja Turtle boxes. Okay, great. The other one, so I won't go too deep into the backstory, but our house has had some pipe issues, some slab leaks and stuff over the last 4 or 5 years. So we made the tough call to go ahead and get this whole thing repiped. So our entire house gutted and repiped with like PEX piping as opposed to old copper, which we had in the house.
Yeah.
So everything's good. I'm up here working in the office, and they're in the attic, and they're doing something and just hitting on the wall very, very, very hard. And I'm like, oh, this isn't good. And then boom, my entire wall of 89 Bio-Go-Cheese. I saw 50 of them fall off the wall, luckily onto carpet, and luckily they're soft vinyl. Nobody was injured. But I sat there and just a cascade of Safubi raining down, knocking over my Yamato Takeru Bandai that was sitting on a different like tower kind of the side, crashing to the ground. I have a huge display up there with all these X Plus. Now those things would break if they fell. And I have the bigger ones up there, and they're just, I could see them like as they're banging on the wall from the inside, they're just kind of like slowly but surely getting closer to the ledge. So I went up there, I start pushing them back. The Safubi have already hit the floor. But it was just the one wall, and it was all 89s. And so literally 50 just fell crashing to the ground in a matter of seconds. And so
that's terrifying.
Off the floor, but I haven't put anything back yet. They just finished all the work. And between that and getting rid of, an entire collection, I'm going to do a little reorg. So I just have a lot of crap everywhere. And I feel like I'm like the boxes and the toys are just closing in on me here. So
that's stressful, dude. That is stressful.
Yeah, that was scary.
Yeah, that's very scary. Toys falling over is, hearing a noise in your house is the scariest thing to a collector because there's no telling what it can be. Dude, you're gonna sell your animated NECA collection on the eve of their 100th animated turtle figure?
I'll tell you why that's okay. It's because when that came out, didn't even faze me. That was like, you know what? That's my
Fuck 'em.
validation. You know,
Fuck 'em. Get rid of them, dude.
yeah. I
It's a
love
lot
them.
of toys. It's too many toys.
It is, and it got to the point where I thought about it, and I was like, am I enjoying when they're coming out? And like, hit or miss. And it hasn't been as enjoyable. They're taking up so much room. And I asked, well, do I want to just keep the ones I like? Because that's typically how I collect. But then I was like, nah, kind of don't. I was like, let's just get rid of them. You know, I'll probably make a bit of money on some. I'll definitely lose on a lot of the newer ones. At the end of the day, like, it is what it is. Get them out the door, and then that gives me basically 2 detolfs in the top of a detolf to put more stuff.
It's a lot of toys. You got a lot more space coming. I mean,
I am keeping the vintage though. I am keeping all my vintage. I'm not touching that.
Good.
It's just the NECA line.
That line is probably, if you think about it, it's one of the most complete toy lines I think we've ever seen. It's amazing. And it's still going pretty strongly. I don't think there's any signs of it ending anytime soon. I think they're going to make every single thing they can make of that line. And maybe in a couple years, it will be the kind of thing where it's like, whoa, that, people will look back and be like, that's just one of the best toy lines ever. But
I think so.
Stuff, man. It's too much stuff.
And believe me getting rid of it has nothing to do with my perception of the quality or anything like that. It's just, I had to make a call, and that one took up so much room, and I had to make the call on it. It's, I think it will go down as, especially in this like era, one of the top lines of all time, one of the most like deep lines, also great quality. I mean, they're going to start doing like figures of like the opening and closing credits. I mean, they really are. I mean, it's getting to that point. It's pretty amazing. And I'm glad they're still selling, because I love walking by and just looking at them. Like I said, that's why I bought them. I just love them. And, but it's time to turn those detolfs into nothing but, Safubi Ultra Kaiju or something really cool. Because my Ultraman collection is getting a little big over here. So got to move it down there.
That's cool though, man. That's not a line I collect either, but there are ones that I'll pick up here and there. I do. I mean, this, I collect the movie line, but the animated, I can't do both. I'm like, I can't do the movie. The movies call to me more than the animated ones do. So
fair point.
But I mean, NECA still gets me with like, I'm buying the Last Ronin figures. I'm buying the Universal Monster Ninja Turtles. I'm buying some of the weird one-offs. I bought the Triceraton from the Mirage comics, which I don't even really read, but it's a cool looking. Yeah, it's a good looking toy, man. So
they're all good looking.
I get 100%.
It. Yeah,
I get it. I mean, I recently just moved all my Ninja Turtles out of this room because they were taking up a full detolf, and I just didn't want to do that. So I got like one square right here that's just like classic stuff. That's the Turtle Van, and I'm just gonna have some of the old stuff. But everything else, all my NECA stuff, it's in the hallway. I bought 2 more. I have 2 detolfs in my hallway now, and it's all the Ninja Turtles are out there because I'm just like, it's just too much, man. I'm getting to a point where I want less modern toys in this room and more vintage toys in this room. So everything's going out.
I'm right there with you. I'm right there, and it just these are hard, tough decisions. Like this isn't like. It's not like, oh, I didn't like them anyway. It's like, no, I mean, I bought 100 of them,
you literally bought almost 100 of them.
Yeah. I mean, it's a ton, and all the loot at all the loot crates and everything. So yeah, it's just, got to do it. Got to make room for some more stuff that we can show off on this show.
Yeah, for sure. Jay, what are you wearing?
Oh, you like this shirt? This is a J Key original. It's something that we say on this podcast a lot. No one likes Amanda. It even has the YHS on Monster Island tag on there. But yes, we should talk Craig into putting this on the below the collar site. Where you can
is it not? Where did you get it from? Did you just have it made somewhere separately?
Okay, I just do it on TeePublic. Yeah.
Well, then
I have some of my old stuff on there.
Get all those designs. We're going to talk shop on the actual show for a second. Get all those designs, all the designs we already have. Send them to Craig, and he'll put them right on the.
I love it.
And we'll do it. We'll put them all on below the collar.
No one likes Amanda.
No one likes Amanda, dude. That is a funny shirt. Yeah. I want to see you wear that to G Fest.
Oh, it is. It's in the rotation.
People are going to complain about it.
Oh yeah, I bought. Oh, the funniest thing is the photo here is the YMSF figure because I didn't want to use anything that I mean, I know this is technically copyrighted
because
too, but we
Toho's
could-
gonna.
yeah, but anyway, he's there. He goes to G Fest. I'll be right next to him, and I'll be like, no one likes him, and he'll be looking at me like, what the heck's going on? Yeah, so I have this one. I already planned out like the boothing at G Fest. I'm gonna do this one. I'll probably wear my new Toku Toy Town shirt I made, and then I'm gonna wear my hashtag 8989s, and hopefully by then maybe I'll have 89. So anyway, yeah. But yes,
That's
Manda.
awesome.
First ever
I
Manda
love it.
T-shirt probably ever.
Jay, we're gonna get into we don't this week's a little different. It is mainly a news episode. There's no like big topics. We didn't watch any, movies that we're talking about really, but but you do have something on the list that you watched.
I do. Well, actually, I'd never heard of this, and you sent me the most recent upload, I guess. So it's and it's going to sound funny. I'm sure a lot of people that listen to us and watch us are like, "Yeah, dude, this guy has like a bazillion followers. Like, he's pretty famous."
I noticed. I also watched all of them, and I was looking. I was like, "Oh, this has been watched 3 million times."
Yeah, I know.
It
So
is.
we are late to the
Everybody
party.
knows we're late. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's I guess. Do you think it's Quazies or Quazies?
Quazies, maybe.
That's what I was going with. Okay, so but it's like Space Monster Wong Magui. Who the hell knows? But yeah, so Quazies. This YouTuber does a lot of cool, like digital animation and it's really really cool stuff. He started doing some Godzilla centric stuff that like is hilarious. The animation is funny, but you sent me the most recent one, the Gigan's Big Score. And then I went back and watched the other two, which is like Little Godzilla Makes a Hamburger, and the other one was Anguirus on Vacation. Yeah. They're hilarious, and they're so funny, and they have a lot of cool references there, and the animation is wonderful. But the Gigan's Big Score, the one that just came out, I mean, is that kind of one of the best Godzilla things that we've seen?
It's amazing.
Since Singular Point.
It's amazing. And so a friend sent it to me. And when I first saw it, I thought it was like an official. I was like, "What the fuck is this? Toho's doing a Godzilla cartoon." It is so good. Look, everything about it is good. The animation is great. It's really smooth. It just everything looks professional. It looks so good. It is very funny. There's no dialogue. It's all dialogue. But it is very funny. There's all these references. All the monsters are, on display, and it's just really cool. All 3 of the episodes are awesome. And their personalities are so well done. Like the Gigan and Megalon like live together. Gigan tries is like this, they're not considered. They can't get into the big bad room because they're not
elite villains. But Gigan obviously, he's trying his best, and Megalon just kind of like, I don't know, I won't say dumb, but a little bit, just unaware of everything going on, and just like happy being who he is. And it is so funny, and they're how they do Space Godzilla and Titanosaurus and Anguirus. All of them are hilarious. They have these funny personalities, these backgrounds, and they carry over from episode to episode. And it is, it's amazing. I really hope everybody goes and watches these because they were like 10 to 15 minutes each, and they were some of the best kaiju media that we've had in a long time. And once again, I know everybody's probably seen these a million times and we're late to the party, but I'm glad we finally made it to the party.
Well, I was like, when I watched them, I was thinking I better download these or rip these to my computer before Toho fucking ends this account, because
I know
it's kind of crazy that they're even up.
It's lasted.
You know what I mean? I was like, oh no, but I love these. I want them on a VHS. I want this person to make these available. It was so great.
Gigan texting, you just won't stop texting Ghidorah as he's in the bar and stuff is hilarious. You just get like the text, you see the phone, it says stop texting or stop messaging me, I'm trying to enjoy the bar, and then Gigan shows up at the bar, and it's so funny. And Kamakura, all the Kamakurai are all like the bartenders and or the security, and it's so funny.
All of it, everything. And there's all these like weird little dude. Whenever in the Anguirus episode, he lives with Gorosaurus, and there's like Gorosaurus is watching the TV, and when it shows what he's watching, there's 2 photos on either side that are real pictures of like actresses hanging out with the Gorosaurus costume, And I was like, this is so, and there's shit like that throughout the whole thing. There's little
I love-
Dorats and stuff.
Oh,
like
the Dorats are hilarious, and they're fighting. They have them fight when they're walking in the one of the Angus is walking by one of the villages. They have them like fighting like a dog fighting ring. That was really funny. They had some good. Oh, I love in Angus's hut. You have the pictures, and you have one of Godzilla Land, of him and Godzilla in that style animation. I thought that was hilarious.
There's like a couple times where it jumps to that animation. It was so good. Yeah.
So guys, go watch it. Quazies. I think his YouTube channel is called Quazies, and it is awesome. And I'm sure his other stuff, his non-Godzilla stuff, is really cool too. I haven't had a chance to.
Well, no matter what it is, like it is so legitimate the way it is so good looking. Like that person is going to be given jobs based on those animals. Like they are. There's no way. But yeah, they're great.
Oh, did you in the intermission where they did some profiles on some of the monsters? Did you read the Biolante one?
I did. I read them all. Yeah,
that one is. I was like a little heartbreaking, but I thought it was so great that like it's considered an and it doesn't understand monster language, so it can't make any friends.
That bummed me out. Yeah, but I like that Biolante shows up in the other two too, like in the background and a couple. Yeah. I was like, this is cool. But.
And Space Godzilla carrying the number one uncle mug or world's best uncle is so funny.
He's making fun of everybody. Yeah, the whole thing was great.
Oh yeah. Anyway, so everybody go check that out. Quazies YouTube. It'll be a fun watch, I promise.
I didn't watch anything else. I don't know if you did. Cool. So then we'll do some pickups here. Listen, I'm gonna go first because I only got one thing, Jay.
Okay.
And I'm wearing it.
Oh.
This I know it just looks like a flashy flannel shirt here, but Middle of Beyond does these flannels, and they do them for all kinds of movies. I also have one of their Ghostbusters ones. But they just, if just a glance, it just looks like a flannel.
Yeah.
But if it's hard to see, but right here on the thing, you got a little Mothra right here.
Okay.
And then if you flip this up, you got the twins under here.
Yeah.
And the twins are on both pockets. And then under, on the inside is little Mothras on the fabric, and you can't really see, but they're under the fabric of the thing as well.
That's
then
amazing.
it also just has like a little tag at the bottom that says Godzilla on it.
That's awesome.
They also have a Godzilla one of these, and it's like a green flannel. Even though Godzilla's not green, but I liked I like the Mothra colors better. This yellowish, I think these are cool.
And the pocket?
These shirts are expensive.
Yeah.
They're not playing around, Jay. I put this on a payment plan.
Oh, wow.
These are $75 shirts.
Whoa.
It's very expensive, but they look really good. They're not like tacky. I think these can be worn. Like someone's got to be walking by and looking, and they're like, oh, that's a Godzilla shirt. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but I love it. They're really, really well made. They're nice. So this is the only Godzilla pickup I got this week, Jay. And I wanted to show it off. Though. I wanted to show it off first because it's fucking hot in here, and I want to take it off. So there we go.
You were like jumping to that really quick. Like normally it's like
I did.
Hey, you go first. No, you go first. No,
you
go first.
I was like, as soon as I put it on, I was like, oh boy, do I need to get the fan on or something? Jay, what do you got?
So I actually had a light week too. I had technically, I guess 3 pickups, but 2. I'll do the first 2 together because they go together. So this is a totally impulse purchase because I'd never heard of this before. But just as you in the natural world love caimans and crocodiles and gharials and alligators, that's your that's your jam. I've been since I was little. I've been big into rhinos, and I've been part of the International Rhino Foundation for a long time. Yeah,
I didn't know this. I like this information.
Yeah. So I keep the 5 alive. But I've had the fortune to see 4 of the 5 species of rhinos. Never seen a Javan, but I did see the Sumatran when they had them in Cincinnati for a bit. I had to make a pilgrimage there to see a Sumatran. Only about 200 of them left. Wow. But I've been part of the International Rhino Foundation. It's actually based here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Saw them in Africa. Love rhinos. So transition that to, I saw this. Apparently these came out in 2019. An artist, a vinyl artist in Japan. Was it Now, Michi Arai, I like I said, don't know much about them at all, but I saw these things called Rhinodon, and it's a rhino kaiju designer vinyl. And so they did at least two. They did an Asian, the one-horned rhino, the greater one-horned rhino. Look at this guy.
Whoa, I love the color.
Little rhino, little rhino kaiju. And then a white rhino. Know that because of the square lip here.
Yeah, it's the different heads for sure. Like completely different face. Dude.
Yeah. Yeah. So Indian or Asian rhino, excuse me, wrong one. Asian rhino, white rhino. I'm going to get a Sumatran, a Javan, and a black rhino in there, and we'll have all five. But I absolutely adore these things. These are awesome. And I'm really, really, really excited to display them.
I love those, Jay. That's a really, I like that kind of stuff because like, you know, it's different. It's weird. It's not based on any other, like the connections that you make in like real life with real animals or things, or I love that. So that's really cool. Those are the coolest pickups, man. That's perfect. Do you got anything else over there?
I do, but you know, what's going to happen is we're going to see like a week later in the comments, somebody's going to be like, dude, those were actually a villain in season 3 of Spectrum Man. You know,
well, it literally looks like the rhino from Spider-Man. So
anyway, they're just, you know, they're rock steadies. The other thing I got, it's still in the package. I just got it. I haven't taken it out of the box yet. But those are nice and small. This guy is gigantic. He is an X plus gigantic Rick steel color Rick light up eyes. Ultra 7. Love this guy. Look at him. He's so handsome man there. Dan
That's
Moriboshi.
Awesome, dude.
So I haven't taken him out. I'll put him there, but like it's a big toy. Yeah, and it has light up eyes. It's the steel color version, which I love in the box. It's a language barrier. It's like steel, like metal steel, but on there, still as in steel.
They spelled it wrong.
As in, like, still. I'm being still. I love that stuff. But anyway, it's great. It is. Oh, here's a picture of him. I guess out of the. There you go. There's a.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Jay, I want one of those gold. I want one of those gold Ultraman from Shin.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I know what's Bandai's doing one or did one.
I really like the colors of the Ultraman in that movie, and I'm sure they exist, but it would be really cool to have. What is it? There's like the classic colors. There's the gold one, and then isn't there a green one?
Yeah, when he gets tired, he turns a little more green.
Man,
yeah,
I love that. Yeah, those are cool.
That was their take instead of doing like the color timer. They did like the then Zafi, and it's really cool. The Ultraman, especially like because they're so similar, but you have the different colors and to put them next to each other would just be a stellar display. They look really cool.
Yeah,
and then you get the smaller versions. You can. It's
endless with Ultraman. Yeah, there's nothing you can do.
So that's all I got. I got my Rhinodons and I got my Ultra 7 to hang out with me.
It's funny to be like, that's all I got. You got a X plus gigantic figure.
Hey, it was a great deal. And you know, obviously this gigantic, even though it's technically a gigantic, is not quite the same price range as some of the other gigantics that we see, but it's still cool.
I got something coming in. I got shipping confirmation from something from Awesome Collector yesterday. Mm-hmm. And I'm not going to say what it is, but it is something I'm excited about, and it will be here for the next episode of Monster Island. I'll have it to show off. But I've been thinking lately, I've been doing like some rearranging outside of this toy room, like I was saying earlier. And I'm kind of thinking about getting not all of my X Plus, but my Harryhausen stuff. Mm-hmm. I'm thinking about maybe taking it out of this toy room and maybe trying to put it like in the living room. So it's like, you know, people who are coming over, like it's like, that stuff is the stuff where we're like, oh shit, what is that? So I'm not exactly sure where it's all going to go or how I feel right now. You can't see it, but right now it's all lined up together. It's like crack, you know, they're all right next to each other. And I'm like, do I want to spread them out and have them all over? Or is that weird?
Stress you out.
Yeah. I don't know. It's like, I want them all in one spot. I don't know. Also, the Kraken's really big. There's only so many places he can go, but I got a couple spots that are open. So I'm like, I'm going to play around. I'm going to maybe take them out of here and give them a trial. in other spots in the house. I don't know.
Make sure he behaves.
But it will open up a lot of room in here, you know?
Yeah.
They're big. So.
And if anything can transition to that type of collectible, it's going to be the Harryhausen X Plus. I mean, that stuff, you know, it has life outside those films because people recognize a Cyclops and recognize, you know, even Kraken and you know, as generic sea serpent.
I almost bought one of
things.
those Cyclopses the other day.
Yeah.
I was looking at I was on Sideshow's website because I'll tell you, I'll be honest with you. I got a lot of payment plans that are paid off right now.
Ooh, look at you, man.
I was like, it's paid. Maybe I should buy something else, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm like on Sideshow's website, just being like, let me see if there's anything on here I need. And I'm looking at the Harryhausen stuff, and Medusa's gone. The Medusa was just gone, you know? And there's a couple others that I'm like, these are, you know, like that Mighty Joe Young is still available.
It's a good looking figure with the lions.
And I like it, but I'm like, I don't know if I $400 want that. You know what I mean? But both of the Cyclopses are on there, and I'm like, maybe which one is it? The 2-horned Cyclops that fights the dragon, or is it the 1-horn? It's the 2-horn, right?
Yeah,
one
horn's the eye poke, and then the
part of me is like, I might need to get that 2-horned Cyclops because the dragon's coming, right? Mm-hmm. They're gonna put that dragon out, I think, and that
you can have him fight the Rhedosaurus until then. Like, that's good enough.
So I don't know. I didn't pull the trigger on any, but. I thought about it, but
yeah, it's hard. I mean, there's so many good ones there. I mean, we've talked about it, I know, ad nauseum on this show, but the Harryhausen X Plus stuff, I mean, I wish if I had a whole room, I could do a room of nothing but Harryhausen and be totally cool with that. Yeah. There's that much good stuff. It's just, you know, we only have so much space, so much money.
Yep.
So
at least space is the issue with me. I mean, money's always an issue too, but listen, I've talked about this. And this is how, you know, there have been times where you look at other people's collections. There are people in the kaiju community who just have insane, amazing collect. I mean, you do, Jay. Like you do. We all do. But sometimes you see people where you're like, whoa, that's what I want to be when I grow up, is that kind of collection, you know?
Yeah.
And there were times in my life where it's like, well, I can't afford shit like that. I say that, but now, like, look at this room, you know? But dude, in the last couple of years, all these payment plan companies that have popped up, like, I know, like, I remember when I first saw one of those companies, it seemed like a scam to me.
Yeah, for sure.
And I was like, oh, stay away from that. It's going to take my money. But now, like, PayPal, yeah, but now PayPal has Pay in 4. There's partially. There's like 5 of these payment plan groups out there. They're all legit, and it's like when something's, you know, when something just pops up and it's $150, you're like, fuck, I can't spare that today, but I can spare a quarter of that today. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And a lot of times the payment plans don't even start for 2 weeks ahead or something like that. You know, and so that's the way to do it. Like, that's, you know, if anybody needs any advice on how to start buying cool shit, use those fucking payment plans, dude, because they are amazing. And, you know, it might take you a little bit longer to get what you're buying, but it just pays it off slowly. And one day you're like, oh, fuck, a toy just showed up. I forgot I bought this or something. So,
well, and PayPal and Thor, a lot of it they just ship. You know, if it's them taking the risk as credit. I
don't know if it's partially or if it's whatever Sideshow, Sideshow has one. Sideshow has one on their website that it's like, this is the one they use. Whichever one Sideshow uses, they ship it before they even take your first payment.
Yeah,
I ordered the Rhedosaurus and Ymir on the same day, and I had 2 brand new X Pluses in my hands before I paid
for $1
fucking cents.
Trial run.
Yeah. So it's awesome. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Use
I know. Partially you have to pay it off. That's what Awesome Collector uses.
Yeah.
I don't know on Sezzle, but on PayPal and 4, like you that's treated as like
PayPal and 4. They just send it to you.
They send it because like the vendor, like on my site on Toku Town, like we have PayPal and 4, right?
Yeah.
I get paid in full. PayPal pays me, and they just take on the risk. And if they lay it on the payment, they make money on it. So it's great for all of us. So I don't even know unless I do digging that if somebody even uses a payment plan. For me, to me it looks like just a normal transaction. So it's great.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
We're not endorsed by any of those companies.
No,
but if
no.
if you guys want to give us money
Yeah.
for sure.
Well, hey, we'll hawk some high-end collectibles for you.
Cool. We're gonna get on to some news here, Jay. You got quite a bit of news on the rundown here.
You know, it's not a ton because
I say quite a bit, but I'm looking at it,
condensed it down.
Yeah,
yeah, but and all of them kind of like they all kind of some of them go together. So
Yeah.
I think it'll be pretty cool. And I'm gonna go in no particular order. We'll start off with this one. I thought this was cool news. So we talked about this when Ryan was on the show, and I know you were out that week. And so we talked about Gorgo.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say I was out that week, but I happened to tune in right at the time you guys were talking about this figure, and you convinced me to buy it because I wasn't going to, Jay. I wasn't going to buy it. I love Gorgo so much. But I think me and you had a conversation at one point, and we were just like, oh, I love it. But also the Safubi versions of Gorgo are amazing. Do we need multiple Gorgos? I don't own any of the Safubi Gorgo. I've always wanted it. But I don't know. I was like, maybe I don't want it. But I was like, it's $100. It's 6 inches tall. It's like literally all the stuff. It's got amazing artwork by Matt Frank. And the craziest thing to me about it is all of the stretch goals. And
They've already hit 4.
They've hit 4. You're gonna have to tell me. I don't even know what all 4 are. You're gonna have to tell me because isn't one the baby?
So that was the first one. And then they had
you're getting 2 figures.
Yeah, they had I know, right? They had Big Ben was the one we just hit at 600.
That's amazing.
So the Big Ben, which is awesome. The only one we don't have right now are the light up eyes. That's the last one. The other 2 were the jet. I think there was a jet that comes with it, and then can't remember the other one. Oh man, I can't remember the other one. But anyway, we got all 4, 4 of the 5, and we're about 100 and as of when I put this together this morning, I think we're about 135 away from hitting the last one, the 750. So very
how much time? Do you know how much time is left?
I don't know when it's done. I don't know. I mean, it's happened pretty fast. I think over about 5 or 6 weeks, it got up to the 615. So I feel like they can roll with it a bit. It's supposed to be delivered this year. So I don't know how quickly the turnaround is, but I mean, it's been up for a little bit. So
it's been up there for a bit, because I mean that was over 2 episodes ago that you did that, and I mean we record every other week, so it's been over a month. But you guys convinced me. Well, listening to you and Ryan talk about it, I was like, I'm sitting there, with Jess. I was like, oh fuck, I gotta buy this toy, and I just went and bought it. I was like, I need it.
Yeah,
$100 seems cheap to me for a toy that I know this is like a digital render, but. It looks great.
I think it'll be good. It'll be good.
It looks great, and the fact that it comes with the baby and Big Ben, that's awesome. That is awesome to me. So
that's gonna bug me. I gotta look up what that other stretch goal is.
I hope they do more though, Jay. I think it will be cool if they. I think somebody needs to be making some of these lesser. I don't want to say Gorgo is lesser known because Gorgo's still a pretty famous film and kaiju, but these kaiju that don't get as many toys made, please.
Reptilicus, they could do a Reptilicus.
Oh my god, make me a Reptilicus, dude. I would love that. Yeah, this would be great.
Yeah. I mean, I like that, like kind of the ones that actually had legitimate movies made. Whether they're good or bad, that's a different conversation.
Sure.
But they might have one Safubi out there. I know Reptilicus obviously does, and one's like Gorgo, both are ones.
That's one on my list too. That Reptilicus Safubi. I need that.
That'd be cool. Yeah, I'd love to do that in like a Youngary and maybe an action figure non-Safubi version of Pulgasari, like those types that are legitimate movies, not indies, and that you could put them together and you could build up a pretty cool kaiju collection because there's not that 6-inch articulated for that kind of person that likes monster arts or NECA or Super 7, anything like that. Like this could fill that void. And I think this is a great one to start with because Gorgo, there's a lot of really diehard Gorgo fans. Okay, so I looked it up. So the baby was unlocked at 350 right out of the gate. So bam.
Okay.
Number 2 was the Bell sub. So they added on that at 400.
Okay.
At 500, the Jet Squadron, and at 600, Big Ben. So 750 is a light up eyes, glow in the dark effect is what it's listed here. So
It's just like $100. You're getting a toy. You're getting 2
lot of
kaiju
accessories.
and 3 accessories, possibly, or 2 accessories. Like that's just it's a
Yeah.
lot of stuff, man. It's just a lot of
And
stuff
great
for
artwork.
the price.
Like I said, Matt,
Yeah.
you mentioned Matt Frank did the artwork, and at the end of the day, it's also not going to be mass produced. Even if it gets to 750, that means there's only 750 of these available. So it's not like you can go to Target and pick it up. So guys, jump on it. But it was funny that you mentioned we got you to buy something on that show. Talking on that show, I also bought something I didn't have before talking to Ryan about it, and that was I picked up the Gojiji Ishikaya, the Godzilla, the sushi chef Godzilla from Black Sea. I picked that one up. I didn't buy that one or pre-order.
That thing's cool. Well, it was, I was watching you guys talk about that one too, and I was like, oh fuck, and I'm like, no, I'm not getting them both. I'm just gonna, I did have a minute of like, which one do I want? But Gorgo won because I don't own any Gorgo stuff, man.
Yeah. I'm excited. I'm gonna display it next to I have one of the Safubi versions and put them next to each other. It'll be really cool. I'm excited about that one coming out.
Good.
Okay, more stuff. So, we talk a little bit about kind of the big higher price tag toys every now and then, even though we don't necessarily buy a lot because of the space. I'm talking about the Spiral Studios and Omega and all those.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy
and so
shit.
Spiral came out with another one. They announced this is going to go up for pre-order here shortly. Not something I would spend this much money on because of that's not the Godzilla that I love, but I thought this looked absolutely stunning. It's going to be 20 inches tall, 30 inches long. The Atomic Charge Godzilla 2019 from King of the Monsters, and this thing will be up for pre-order soon. We recommend you going to Kaiju Live. We love AJ and Frank and team, but it's going to be up at all the other guys, the awesome collectors and big bad toy stores. But go to Kaiju Live. But this thing I thought looked absolutely amazing. I love the kind of the menacing scowl and like kind of hunched over with the atomic charge going
pose.
Through. It looks really, really, really cool. I just had to throw that one up there, even though I won't be buying it because, like I said, it's not my Godzilla.
It's going to be $2,000.
Yeah, at least
their stuff is crazy expensive. Same thing. I think this looks amazing. I love it. This pose is great, but I'm not going to spend that much on a Godzilla. And if I did, it would be like an '89 Godzilla. You know what I mean? It'd be it'd be Heisei, or it's not going to be American Godzilla. But this is great, man. This is great. I love how big it is. It looks nice, sturdy, and heavy. It's a good looking toy, man. Good paint job.
Yeah, I gotta.
I guess you can't call this a toy.
No,
this is not a toy. This is not a toy. This is like
lifestyle.
You get buried with something like this. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm actually I gotta be thinking of this. I have to clear some room. I got the GMK one coming in at some point. I don't know where I'm gonna put that thing. I'm glad I got rid of those NECA Ninja Turtles. Anyway, so hey, I know you mentioned Matt Frank. I thought this was kind of cool as a U.S. based artist that does a lot with the Toho license. A guy that we've seen him at conventions. He does a lot of really cool stuff. Good old Austin guy down here in Texas.
Yeah,
he has some merch that's going into the Godzilla store. This Mothra merch, so it'll be Godzilla store exclusives by Matt Frank. There is a shirt, a tapestry, and in the middle that's a ceramic plate. I thought those are all really cool. Yeah,
wow.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool. So I love this. I love this rendition of Mothra. Look,
it's very classic. Yeah, it's very classic Heisei look, and I love the Godzilla in the silhouette. This is beautiful.
And it just, I think it's also cool just to see, the guys here, because yes, we know all the wonderful Japanese artists, the Nishikawas and Yuji Kaidas and all that, but like seeing the Matt Franks and the Tom Whalens and the Attack Peters, and of course the Bob Eggletons and all those guys like get this like opportunity to really showcase their stuff. And this one in Japan at the Godzilla store as an exclusive. I don't know. I think it's really cool.
I do too. Congrats to him. Yeah. He does a lot of work. He does so much work, with God. He deserves to have something in the Godzilla stuff. It's probably not. It can't be the first time he's had something in there, right?
No, but I think he did it with Gigan too. I think it maybe.
He must have. But yeah, this is awesome.
And that dude hustles, man. He's at like every convention across the country. I don't know how he does it. Okay, so let's talk. Speaking of some cool stuff in the Godzilla store, but also other places. Bandai, the movie Monster series, had a couple releases that they announced. The first one is from Shin Ultraman. I thought this was interesting. The Zeton, which I think was probably the most controversial of all of the
For sure.
reimaginings. You know, it kind of just in space, just floating there, and it's a, you know, even the Ultramen can use it to destroy worlds. And they're releasing it. I believe this is a Bandai Premium, so it's a little bit bigger figure. But this thing, they're going to market with it. So I'm curious to see how people gravitate towards this, because like I said, I know a lot of people weren't huge fans of this design. So I don't know. What do you think?
I mean, I think it looks cool. I definitely understand the weirdness about you know, people's hiccups with, you know, the Ultras, like using what's usually their main villain as a weapon. Yeah, it's a little weird, but I think the design is really cool. I enjoyed it in the film. My only issue with this toy is just like, you know, flying Jet Jaguar. There's no way to display this. So you can't stand up. You know, you got to get some kind of clear stand for him to rest on. There's nothing, you know, my flying Jet Jaguar Bandai down here is just leaning up against Megalon like this, because that's all you can do with them, really.
Yeah,
but, other than that, I think it's cool.
And it's about 12 inches tall, so it's big.
That's awesome.
So it's big.
Yeah. That's cool.
I think I saw somewhere it's gonna be like $90 or something around that. Ooh. So a little bit higher than other like kind of MMS type releases. The other two, so Godzilla Store exclusive, right there with the Matt Frank stuff, was going to be this retro colorway of the classic Megalon from the movie monster series. So I think this is cool. I love this. It's a little bit kind of more of the black on there, and it's a little less colorful, a little bit more I don't even know how to describe it, but it almost looks more metallic in this one, but more pewter. But I think it looks cool.
I've never seen a Megalon I didn't like, so I
know,
don't
right?
have anything bad to say about Megalon ever. More Megalon is what I want. Hey, we're like a couple months into Megalon and Jet Jaguar's birthday, and I'm not seeing enough. I'm honestly, I mean, I know we're still in the first half of the year, but I mean, it's almost May, and I feel like we would have seen a little more Jet Jaguar and Megalon stuff coming out. I think it's been a little slow for them, but
well, it looked, you know, because
we still got time.
But Gigan, if you remember, like in the day, like January 1st hit, they had all those Godzilla Store releases, the Sparkle Gigans and everything, and they went crazy with that. And you're right, it's been a little bit of a slower build. They did release the Megalon 350s, but even those Marathon were just kind of in the middle of a lot of releases, right? It wasn't like it wasn't like Jet and Megalon. It was, we're doing some Gigan 450s and Godzilla 74 450s and 89 450s, and here's some Megalon 350s in there. So even Marathon, who I think like embraces it maybe more than anybody, they haven't been really just going crazy with Megalon. And Jet, it seems like they did more Jet last year, especially the 450.
There was a lot of there was a good bit of Jet last year.
I guess maybe Singular Point help that. Yeah, I think so.
See.
They'll probably do something huge. I'm waiting for. I hope, because the Godzilla movie's coming out. Obviously on Godzilla Day, the new Toho film. Mm-hmm. I hope we still get a short, because they've done that. You know, Hedera got his short for his 50th. Gigan got it. I'm hoping
that's
Jet and I hope that they don't get punted, because that would be a total bummer.
Yeah, that's got to happen. I mean, listen, the Gigan shorts that we got are like, they're amazing.
Yeah,
they're great.
100%.
So like, it's not like I can't complain, but there has to be a Megalon. I want Megalon.
Yeah, for sure. The last thing was an exclusive to Godzilla the Art exhibit. It was done at Parco Shibuya, I believe, and I believe the orange burning Hedera for the 50th for Hedera was also at an exhibit at this art gallery. But anyway, this is Godzilla the Art. There are a lot of cool stuff there, and Bandai did an exclusive release of the Godzilla maquette for the movie Monster series. I thought this was a great play by Bandai. I love this figure. I don't think I've ever like necessarily wanted a movie Monster series figure as much as this one. I like it a lot. I think it's really cool.
Yeah, I agree. Bandai stuff is kind of like, especially like the standard movie Monster series stuff, and Bandai's like the shit that, like, when I first started buying Godzilla stuff, it's the stuff that you could find. It was cheap. You would find it in the US. Yeah. It's like buying Bandai for $15. And now when you're like a deep collector, that kind of stuff is like, oh, well, it's cool, but I'm going to get this. You know what I mean? But this toy is awesome. Like, this to me kind of this to me, I think transcends a little bit what
Mhm.
Bandai is usually doing. This is really
For sure.
cool. It's weird and it's very animated looking, and it's just
Mhm.
it's a cool sculpt. I
Yeah.
love that. As soon as I saw this, I sent this to you. I was shocked this was Bandai when I saw it.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah,
this
for
is
sure.
It sounds like I'm talking shit about Bandai. I love Bandai, but
No.
I'm just saying
No.
usually it's like pretty standard stuff. This is awesome.
Well, of course you're not talking crap on it because I mean, Bandai Movie Monster Series was up for the Jeffrey for best movie, or best
Exactly.
movie line for best toy line our first year of the
Right.
Jeffries.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just different. It occupies a different space in the collectibles spectrum, right? And
yes.
it's a huge. I mean, the portfolio is gigantic, so you can collect a lot, and it's very cool. I love it. I mean, I wouldn't be collecting what I do now if it wasn't for Bandai. But at some point, like you make choices and move it on. And this one, to your point, I do believe, even if you're not a Bandai collector, you might pick this up. And
it's a
there's so many.
standout.
It is, and there's so many maquette versions of Safubi. I think this would look really cool next to those. First thing when I saw it, I did a double take because I'm thinking, what's the one? Is it the Land Unknown with the T-Rex? That's the really kind of like with the big eyes.
Yeah.
I was like, is that a Land Unknown? Oh no, it's the Godzilla maquette. I was like, I could totally see that being tweaked a little bit, and it could totally fit into one of those like 1950s dinosaur movies. But
sure.
very cool stuff from Bandai. Now, the last thing I have is not really toy news. Well, it kind of is. Has a little bit of toy in there, but if you'll indulge me, I do want to throw something else out here. I do have a little slide, and this is a little bit 100%. Oh, no, I actually have it on that one. I didn't even need to turn that off. Let me see. There we go. Whoa, I wanted to throw this out there. We have these great conventions like G-Fest and All Monsters Attack and stuff, but that's not the only Godzilla stuff that goes on in the country. There's some things that aren't quite conventions. Well, I'm excited to announce that us here in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex in North Texas, we are launching something in August that I'm really excited about, and actually I'm thrilled to be a little bit of a part of sponsoring it, and it's this really cool event that we're calling Kaiju Go. So hopefully, if you're in the area, you can come check it out. But we have a really cool 1920s renovated movie theater. It has an upstairs speakeasy bar with real bar from the 1920s. It's very cool, and we'll be showing a double feature of Mothra versus Godzilla and Godzilla versus Megalon. So I think the quintessential movie of the Toho Golden Era, Mothra versus Godzilla, my favorite movie of Godzilla, and then 50th anniversary, the birthday boy, Godzilla versus Megalon, which I think is the epitome of 70s Godzilla, as a double feature. In between, we're going to have a really cool Q&A with a special guest artist that we'll hopefully be announcing here the next week or so. But on top of that, upstairs in that really cool little speakeasy bar, which you actually have access to watch the movie and the sounds piped in, that's really cool. We're going to have some really cool vinyl toy Safubi vendors. It's going to be very limited. There's only going to be about 8 vendors or so that'll be totally curated. In fact, those that have seen me at the toy show at Tokyo Toy Town, I have 3 or 4 booths, and I have Bandai and I have this. I'm only bringing Safubi. It's only like vinyl toys or like designer toys, art toys. We have a couple indie kaiju toy designers that are in the area and some artists and stuff. And that'll be upstairs. So we're going to have a little toy gallery with the movies, with the special guest artist in a really cool venue. And it's only $25 for everything. And so guys, go check it out. kaijugo.com, or you can go to the venue, the downtown Cowtown at the ISIS Theater, their website, and get tickets. They're on sale as of a couple days ago. So we're really, really pumped about it. And thank you for letting me talk about it on here, but I'm super excited to do a little Godzilla-ness in Dallas, in Fort Worth, as we try to make it a kaiju hub in the United States.
I think this is such an amazing idea, and I hope I don't want to like jump ahead or anything, but I hope this is the first annual. I hope this becomes a thing.
I'm hoping we're trying to do it twice or 3 times a year is the goal.
Ooh,
and yeah, okay. And it all depends. This is going to be.
I like the sound of that, Jay. I like the sound of that, and I'm going to tell you why. Because I've been a little stressed out about possibly not being able to come to this. But if there's going to be another one, I can make it happen.
Yeah. I love it. Yeah, the goal here is not to give too much inside baseball, but these are small events. Like the whole place would only hold a few hundred people, so we're trying to keep them small. And the people that we really want to build up a community, and we're gonna have a few of these because I do feel that if you miss one, it's not the end of the world. You get to see the next one. But you never know. You just never know how these things go. Yeah. We're hoping for a great turnout, but the goal is to at least do it twice a year, quarterly.
People who aren't even these kind of things, maybe people who aren't even like huge Godzilla people will come to this is whether or not you're into kaiju or not. This is a cool thing to go to. Yeah, kaiju is like we all know that it's a smaller community, but we flock to these things. It doesn't matter. Yeah. Like Texas is a big state. This is I think you're gonna have no problem.
I hope
filling this show. I think it's gonna be great. And it's two of the top maybe 5 Godzilla films ever made. So
we didn't want to start off with doing Godzilla's Revenge and and Godzilla versus Megaguirus. We wanted to go big and bold, and
you better not.
And also, I have to say, kudos to the great Chaz Foreman of Chazbro Toys. He did the art for the poster and does awesome stuff.
It looks great.
And,
I want one.
I'm hoping. Yeah, for sure. And he does good stuff, and I'm hoping he'll be able to debut his first vinyl toys at the show maybe earlier. But if not, really hoping that happens. And it's a cool. Actually, the venue itself is really cool. So. This place, like those that do a little bit deep dive on it, for I think it closed down in the 80s. This was the second iteration. The first one burnt down or whatever. They rebuilt it, and it was destroyed and abandoned from 1989 through 2017.
Yeah,
it was nobody ever went inside. There was standing water. Basically, a swampland ecosystem is built up in there. And this is in one of the biggest touristy areas of Fort Worth in the stockyards. The roof had come completely off. It had been an open air building for 20 something years. And this guy came in, and him and his wife, this was their passion. They were career theater people and education folks, and they went and they gutted it, and it is a beautiful venue. It'll be a cool place to see Godzilla on the big screen, to see these two on the big screen in a really cool theater. I think the theater itself sits about 400, and then the speakeasy is really cool too for those that like a few drinks on the side.
Cool. I love it, dude. I'm excited.
Thank you for letting me share that. I appreciate that.
For sure. I think that's it, man. I think that's it for our news, except for we got one thing that we'll talk about. And I don't think it's
the one that everybody's talking about.
Everybody's talking about. It's not going to be a big discussion, but they did release a very short teaser trailer for the next Godzilla MonsterVerse film. Godzilla X Kong is what it's called, because I guess they don't want to call it Versus because it's not technically Versus anymore. Yep. It's Godzilla and Kong. Buddy cop film now. What's the tagline? There's a tagline.
The New Empire.
The New Empire. It sounds like a fucking Star Wars movie.
Star Wars.
The trailer, really, really short. All it shows is another ape that looks like it's maybe red. Sort of the silhouette of an orangutan sitting on a throne. You get a zoom out. You see a Kong and a Godzilla skull, and then you get a close up of this gorilla's face, and he has blue glowing eyes. And that's it. So it's like a the internet is so mad. I see so many people are mad about it. It's 15 seconds of a teaser.
Yeah.
We have zero information. Whether or not that's your main villain in the next film or not. I'm sure there's going to be 6 different Titans in this movie. But I'm guessing we're going to see Godzilla and Kong team up against a gorilla that has both Godzilla and Kong powers, I guess. I don't know. It literally could be anything. I want to go with I don't want to say go with my gut because I know this is not what it is, but I hope it's a gargantuan.
That'd be cool. Yeah, that'd be
gargantua. Cool. That'd be great. Yeah. Just bring in the gargantuas. I don't know. What'd you think of this, Jay?
Well, first off, I have to ask, because you are super involved in so many fandoms, right? And as much as you are in the upper echelon of Godzilla fandom, you also are part of the number one Ghostbusters group of influencers / podcast / whatever in the world.
Yes,
Also,
it sounds
toy
dumb when
collecting-
you say it. It sounds dumb
But
when you
it's
say it
true.
out loud, but it's true.
Yes, I can say it. It's okay. But anyway, and you're obviously heavily involved in Star Wars fandom, all that stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
you've gone to celebrations and all that good stuff. And I always hear from you guys like how like crazy these fandoms can get and stuff. And I feel like for the most part, like our kaiju fandom is pretty cool. Maybe it's me being naive, but like once anything Monsterverse drops, then all bets are off. Because I've seen and heard so much negativity. I don't even know how a 10-second teaser can drum up so much, like just opinions in general, but like 90% of it, at least the ones that I've seen, have been so negative. I'm like, guys, chill, man. It's just 10 seconds.
I mean,
what's it coming from?
I mean, that's how it is with all the fandoms. And even though like, listen, you can say that the Godzilla fandoms may be a little more positive, but like, I remember those anime movies. I remember you guys all complaining about those anime films, and then as soon as we found out Gamera was made by the same company, people want to flip out about Gamera. Guys, it's new Gamera. There's nothing to complain about. It's gonna be great. Yeah, I don't know, dude. It sucks, but here's the thing about Monsterverse, and I've said this on the show before. We've had this conversation 20 times. I think 2014. The first Godzilla film that came out in the Monsterverse, it is better than what I thought. It was like I was like, oh, this is a real movie. This is not just a Godzilla film. This is art. I was like, this is great. I think the series quickly fell into dumb, blockbustery, stupid monster fight territory, but I still love them. You know what I mean? They're still fun. They're still Godzilla different movies. Yep. I don't think we're ever going to get back to that 2014 more serious, real actors, real plot line type, like, emotional filled film. I don't think we're going to quite get back to that. And that's a little bit of a bummer. But it's like saying, it's like watching Godzilla 54 and then complaining about Godzilla versus Megalon. I love them both.
They're just different.
So I don't care what they do. I don't care who the villain is. I don't care what monsters are in this movie. I'm going to have fun with it. Like, even if it's, like Godzilla versus Kong was weird. It had some it had some weird moments. That's like, ooh, this is maybe not great. But then there are moments of it where you're like, I'm just watching Godzilla. It's Godzilla fucking destroying shit. And that's what I want to see. So there's like no part of me is like worried. Oh, what if it's awful? It's a fucking Godzilla movie, and I think I'm gonna enjoy it no matter what. Yeah. Now, I do hope there's more. I think we also all set ourselves up like ever since the last film came out, and the the art book came out, and the art book has a one piece of art in it that like teases Space Godzilla.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
So everybody is like, Space Godzilla confirmed, next film, Destroyer confirmed. So everybody thinks, and I mean, there definitely could be another Toho monster in it. We don't know yet. Yeah. We would all love that. Yeah. I think it's like a little, I don't want to say the word lame, but it's like, is it a little lame to just have the villain of the next movie? It's like, it's another gorilla.
Yeah.
But I don't care, man. I'm just excited. I'm excited we're getting Godzilla. And I'm going to keep all my like harsher judgments to when I see an actual trailer, a full trailer.
I'm right there with you. I think a lot of the negativity stems from expectations and people wanting to see Toho monsters because they have emotional investment in them, as opposed to hoping that a new monster comes out and does something. But I go back. That never. Yes, I would love for them to redo a Toho monster, but I don't ever get mad at new monsters because at one point, Biollante was a new monster. At one point, Space Godzilla was a new monster. At one point, Anguirus was a new monster in 1955. But I do. If it's done well, it's done well. If it's a great villain, it's a great villain.
Yeah.
So I'm okay if it's totally new.
Let me give you a tiny bit of. We don't have a lot to go on, but this is what I'm guessing. Okay, if you're gonna have, so the last movie was Godzilla versus Kong, and then you got a secret Mecha Godzilla who shows up, and they team against that. If they're gonna do this again, and if it's no longer Godzilla versus Kong, but we're kind of Godzilla teaming up with Kong, I think you're gonna have two villains. Yeah, and I think they showed us in Godzilla versus Kong that Godzilla super overpowers Kong. Yeah, and I mean, like we already knew that, but they straight up showed you that. To a point where, like, I even thought it was going to be more evenly matched until you saw the movie. I'm like, nope, Godzilla beats him every time, basically. Yeah. So I think what's going to happen here is that we're going to have one villain that's a little more evenly matched for Kong, which is this gorilla, and then we'll have another Titan that's going to show up that might be a little crazier or a little more cosmic or a little, less
destroy.
Yeah, exactly. More something with a little more bulk to it, or a little more weight to the end. I think there's probably going to be two villains versus your two protagonists. So whatever.
When I was watching the teaser, one of the first things I saw.
Wait, hold on. Whoa! This just hit me. It is going to be Space Godzilla, right? Because that way you got Godzilla versus Kong fighting Godzilla versus Kong.
Oh yeah, that would be good.
Right?
Well, technically, Destroy is Godzilla cells. Well, actually, the Destroyer and Godzilla cells. So
sure, maybe. But I'm like, doesn't that make more? If Kong is going to fight an ape, Godzilla is going to fight a Godzilla, and it's going to be the evil versions of Godzilla and Kong or something.
And didn't they merge together and create Kongzilla? Because Kongzilla was one in our show. Guess the villain of the next movie. Kongzilla was one of the choices.
That'd be awesome.
No, I think, to me, like, I see a lot of people griping about this as like a thinner, frailer, more frail Kong. I'm like, yeah, but that doesn't mean that he could be an ancient warrior guy.
You don't know that.
Yeah,
maybe it's bigger. But I also think it's got. They showed that it had blue glowing eyes for a reason. It's gonna have some sort of.
There's some connection.
There's some sort of connection. There's some sort of powers or something that it's gonna have that maybe Kong doesn't. So we'll see.
And because the original movie, or the name was hinted at, was going to be Origins, it's going to tie back to that Titan War. It's going to have some ancient something connected to it. How is this thing alive this long? It's like one of those things. It's a long life because it's radioactive.
If they give us a I have always felt weird about the idea of there being more than one Godzilla, because Godzilla is so cool and badass and unique that you want to believe he's the only one. You don't want to be like, but there used to be a whole race of Godzillas. That kind of takes away from it.
Yeah, this guy's nothing. He's just kind of middle of the road Godzilla.
That takes away from what Godzilla is to me. But since they've already established that's what they're going with, that there's just a race of Godzillas that existed, then I hope this movie opens with just the Kong Godzilla war. I just want to, if they're going to fucking do it, then do it and show me a bunch of Kongs fighting a bunch of Godzillas.
And other monsters, like the Tides had to pick sides. I want to see like an ancient Anguirus battling a behemoth, or a Mokulamimbe or Vital Mothra or whatever. Like, that'd be cool. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. To me, like, I thought it was cool. And also the other thing is, it was like done in a, very stylistic animation style. It was a teaser, but not even it wasn't even like it was like video, like a film, it wasn't like it was the type that you're actually going to see. So even more like craziness that people are extrapolating that into some of these very deep opinions. But I thought it was fine. Like, it kind of falls in line with what I think of the MonsterVerse. So yeah, I'm excited. I think it's cool. And hey, it's getting us talking about it, good or bad. And that's a cool thing, because it's like, hey, we don't know what we're going to get still. And we saw a teaser. That's pretty cool, as opposed to just, here's what's going to happen. I think it's kind of cool.
There was a time not that long ago where we thought MonsterVerse was done. So it's not.
Yeah.
And good.
Yeah, exactly. No, 100%. I think there's a lot of cool things they can do, and hopefully it will deliver a fun film, a fun experience, much like Kong or Godzilla versus Kong did. I thought it was a fun film that, it was not more than that or less than that. It was just a fun film, and I'm hoping it kind of gets those some notes.
The only thing I want to say is I hope they bring back the classic Godzilla music, man, because that's the only thing 2014 was missing. Yeah. Godzilla vs. Kong needed it, but man, the soundtrack to Godzilla, King of the Monsters
The best one.
is amazing, and we need that back.
It's like they can only get like so much right. It's like they can hit on like 3 important things, but they still miss something, you know. And so like, hopefully this will tie it together. I think this one's going to be just a zany action film. More, I think it's going to be a lot more like Godzilla versus Kong than any of the other ones.
I think so.
Well, King of the Monsters, yeah. So we'll see. And that, and with the Apple TV Plus show coming out, and the Kong animated series, will be a lot of fun stuff. And of course, Gamera has to be coming around the corner here soon. I know that's a different franchise, but still, like a lot of
but there's
still
a lot of
fun stuff.
There's a lot of kaiju coming.
Yeah. There's also a Toho Godzilla movie. Yeah, there's also a Toho Godzilla movie.
Which there was a fake leak going around last week. Did you see the fake leak?
I didn't see it. No.
It was fake. There's like a black and white photo, and it was like a picture of a Godzilla sinking like a famous. They were like, because remember there were early rumors that it was going to have kind of an alternate history thing going on. Yeah. So there's like a pretty badly photoshopped picture of that said it was from the film, and a lot of people were thinking it was real, but then someone was like, nope, this is from this or whatever, and it was fake. So I'm glad, because it didn't look good. But yeah, Jay, I think we did it. I think we knocked out this episode. Just it was a good, smooth news. Last 2 weeks have just been, full of news and toys and just kind of hanging out. But we will. What's that?
I say we might have been the only podcast or person to discuss about the teaser that wasn't all negative.
Yeah, we're a little. I mean, sure, I can be both, but it's an overly positive thing.
It's too early. It's too early.
It's too early. Just chill out. You're getting more Godzilla. Shut up. Yeah, dude. I think that's it. I know. I'm excited for the next episode because I know I'm gonna have a new toy to show off, and it's a toy that I'm excited about, and I've talked about it on the show before. So, other than that, dude, you got anything else?
Oh, I have a question, because this will affect our schedule, because I know it drops on a Wednesday. I don't know if it's an odd week or an off week for us. Did you get your tickets to Shin Kamen Rider May 31st?
Oh my God, it's May 31st.
Yeah,
I don't have tickets for that yet. I have no idea I have no idea where I'm going to be on May 31st. So I do not have tickets.
I was a little bummed,
but it looks awesome.
Yeah, I was a little bummed. Like, Shin Ultraman played at every theater around here on that Wednesday that it aired. Shin Kamen Rider, there's only like 3 in the area out of like the 50. So I'm worried if it's going to be even more exclusive of release.
I had to drive 2 hours to see Shin Ultraman, so we'll see if they're even showing Kamen Rider. But we'll see.
Okay,
all right, man. Cool. We're gonna call this a wrap, and then we will see you guys.
No one likes Mando.
No one likes Mando. Get the fuck out of here. Bye, guys.